What's up, Nerdy Nation? Welcome to the Nerdy Side Up. I'm Ben.
I'm Lou.
And welcome to episode 5. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
So, a couple of things from the last episode, call them fun facts, if you will. I mentioned about, Lottery Win buying the first appearance of Superman. A couple of days later, one sold that was an 8.5 grade, and it sold for $5 million.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's big.
Considering it's only like 10 cents when it first come out.
That's mad, isn't it?
I mean,
that's big.
I've had worse days at the office.
Well, I'm sure most of us have had worse days in the office. Let's be fair, that's big.
And also the legend that is Mr. Nicolas Cage. Back in 2000, he owned a copy of First Appearance of Superman. It was actually stolen, and it didn't turn up again until 2011, when an unnamed man turned in the contents of an abandoned storage locker. And it was just in there, and they managed to track it back to him.
Yeah,
so
mad.
He sold it in November that year for $2.1 million.
What, in 2011?
Yeah.
Imagine the revenue that I get now.
I know. Well, I don't think there's not that many copies left in existence of this.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But could you imagine if they turned Nicolas Cage's story into a film?
Yeah, that would be... I'd watch that film, to be fair.
Who would play Nicolas Cage?
What do you reckon Nick Cage could play Nicolas Cage? Some sort of paradox.
I think that'd be a tricky one for him.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's nuts. What a story, though.
Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting.
Stolen and then appear 10, 11 years later in a random storage bin somewhere. That's mad. That's crazy, that is.
I can't even find things in my own house sometimes, let alone...
Yeah, I would walk out of the house without my headset if it weren't screwed onto my neck.
We got a message from Nilly Trinkets, which absolutely love this fan interaction. This is what we're here for. We mentioned in our first or second episode about the Fantastic Four being third time a charm. It's actually fourth time a charm. She told us that there was a secret Fantastic Four film way back in 1994. It was completed but then binned, possibly for a tax write-off, I'm led to believe. But it's really fun to look into, especially with Doctor Doom, because you can actually hear like the muffled voice in the mask, so you can see how well, obviously, the budget was on it. But if you have time and you're interested, if you go on YouTube, there's a documentary about the film. It's called Doomed: The Untold Story of Roger Corman's The Fantastic Four. And it's with Corman and the rest of the cast and crew explaining what transpired with the film and its production, and that was released in like July 2015.
Yeah, what a tidbit that was. Like, I'm not saying that we know everything by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think I would have even found that if I'd extensively researched it. So to have that knowledge and to call us out on it, love that. Absolutely love that. That's what we're here for. We're all here to learn.
Yeah, keep it coming.
All day. Absolutely. So Nilly Trinkets, thank you very much for your input. I'm here for it. Definitely here for it. Moving on a little bit, gaming news. I don't know if you remember, but I can't remember what episode it was, but a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about my need for news on the new Star Wars Outlaws game.
Yes.
Someone listened to me.
Yes, the trailer.
My words, something dropped.
The trailer dropped, didn't it?
The trailer did drop. It gave us a gameplay trailer. It gave us a launch date. It gave us some exclusive pre-order bonus details. I'm super excited for this. I need a new game to be fixated on, and this seems to be the one that I'm probably going to use this year. It looks very, very good. I'm always a little bit tentative with Star Wars games when they stray away from the traditional sort of like you're a Jedi, you're a Sith, there's lightsabers and all that sort of stuff. However, this just looks very, very good. August 30th it drops, and I just think it's great. I think it looks like it's going to be a great game.
I did watch the trailer, and I don't know if it's just me, but Sleeto, the I think is the main villain possibly of the game. Is it me, or does he look like Harry Kane when he turns round? I was like, they based that on Harry Kane.
I mean, they may well have done. To be fair, you never know. He might be a secret Star Wars fan.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No,
Who wasn't?
I mean, let's be fair. You think about all the people that, like, wasn't it Daniel Craig was in one of the films as a stormtrooper?
He was a stormtrooper
in one of the new films, just to be a part of the franchise.
Prince Harry and William were rumoured.
Yeah,
there's been loads of people over the years. Yeah.
But we had a little bit of a deep dive into the trailer. First and foremost, the main character, Kay Vess, apparently got a bounty on her head by the looks of things, seeking some sort of freedom and new life somewhere in the galaxy. Unclear on who put the bounty on the head, but I reckon whoever that may or may not be is probably going to be the main antagonist in the main game. I'm easy to assume that the Galactic Empire will play a massive role.
Oh yeah, well, it's got to be, hasn't it? Really?
I mean, it's
even if it's in the background or something.
It's set between films 4 and 5, so they're obviously still very, very much at large. But I would like to see something different be sort of like the ownership and take control of it, especially when it comes to the antagonists and the whole world of it. We see during the trailer that Kay encounters the Pikes, perhaps maybe on their home planet of Obadiah. Pikes are a massive part of the Pike Syndicate. They've been in the Book of Boba Fett. They've been in Solo, a Star Wars story.
They have.
All specialised in spice trading. They're real deep in bounty in the outlaw world. So it could be the reason as to why she's got a bounty on her head. She might have stolen from the wrong people, might have hurt the wrong people to get a quick buck. You never know. And the other thing that will probably play a massive role are the Hutts. Everyone knows the Hutts. Everyone knows Jabba the Hutt, home at Tatooine. I thought I saw Tatooine during the trailer.
We definitely saw Jabba the Hutt in the trailer.
So it's possible that he put the bounty on Kay's head. It makes a lot of sense given Jabba's history when he threatened to put a bounty on Han Solo's head in A New Hope and all the stuff going on there. So I'm super excited for it. August the 30th, it launches. Pre-order bonuses. This is not an advert. I just get excited about these things. Pre-order bonuses. I think it's the Kessel Run bonus bundle. There might be a ship and stuff like that. I will be pre-ordering it because it looks cool.
My only gripe with the game, not necessarily the gameplay itself, but the pre-order stuff, is there is a version for about £100 or £120 to get a season pass, obviously all the DLC that you just mentioned, and you get a 3-day early access to the gameplay. Where's the figure? Where's the collectible stuff?
Yeah, 100%.
£100 for a disc.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you think about some of the collectibles that have been gone. I know you are massively into your Assassin's Creed collectible stuff like that. Like, they do special editions well. Yes. Normally they've got a figure and a map, or they've got...
Yeah, there's different things over the years related to where the game is set. But if you remember with Destiny 2, a friend of mine, he pre-ordered, I think it was like a £280 edition, and you got like a satchel, you know, like the characters could have in the game, and season passes, all the DLC, everything. And then like 6 months...
You got a Ghost as well, didn't you?
I think a Ghost, something like that, But then like 6 months later, you could buy the game with all the DLC and the season pass for like £60.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That I would say at the moment, and it might sound a bit petty, but that is my only gripe with Outlaws.
Yeah, I think.
But the game itself,
it does look great. I'm excited
awesome
for it. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Speaking of games that look great, you saw a trailer for something to do with Lord of the Rings.
Yes, Tales of the Shire.
Sounds intriguing. I'm yet to see the trailer, so you're going to have to explore it with your words for me. Because
I'll do my best to do it. I'll do my best to describe it and do J.R.R. Tolkien proud. It will be nowhere near as good, but hey. So yeah, I watched it the other day. It's the first full trailer, I led to believe, of it being released, and it's an upcoming like single player life simulation, kind of like again, I've never played it, but it kind of looks a bit like Animal Crossing, like Tamagotchi kind of vibes.
Oh, okay.
It's set in the Middle Earth. universe is obviously inspired by the legend that is Tolkien himself. It's published by Take-Two owned Private Division. I haven't really heard of much that they've done, but I'm guessing they've done some good stuff to take on a Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's developed by Weta Workshop Game Studio as well. I guess I haven't heard of anything they've done. I've probably played a game and just not realised.
Yeah, absolutely.
But basically, you get to live life as a hobbit in the idyllic town of Bywater. Which is I don't know if it was mentioned in any of the films. I would have to double check that.
It's been a few years since I've seen the films. To be fair,
but it is an official village in Hobbiton, so it's not just one they've like picked the name out of a hat. Yeah. But the idea of the game is to help bring the community together and achieve like official village status by like throwing parties or festivals. So I would imagine there's going to be lots of Hobbit and that inspired stuff that you can do. You get to obviously build your house and all stuff like that. So it does look you can go fishing in the river. So ideally, it's almost like living out your Lord of the Rings fantasy in game form.
I can be a hobbit and just enjoy it. Okay, I'm here for it. Here for it.
There was a glimpse of a famous grey wizard in the trailer, so hopefully you get to interact with Gandalf and a few of the other characters that have been mentioned in the books. It is coming out in the second half of 2024. No official release date, but it's definitely in the second half of this year, and it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and the PC via Stream or Steam, whatever it is. Steam, isn't it?
Yeah, Steam.
That's it.
Yeah, interesting. I'll tell you what, I've liked a lot of the Lord of the Rings games throughout the years.
Yes.
The ones on the PlayStation 2 based on the films were very, very good. But I think one of the ones that I personally found really, really good, and I think this comes from my love of Assassin's Creed, was the Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
Because it was basically Assassin's Creed with the Lord of the Rings skin over the top of it. And I was here for it because it was so cool.
Gollum was a letdown.
Yeah, that was.
That's a game I wish I could forget.
Yeah, but that, yeah. Yeah, that is very, very true. But there have been some very, very good ones. So you never know. That might be another good one for the end of this year to go with Star Wars Outlaws. Hopefully it releases properly late in the year, and then I can just transition nicely between the two.
Boom. That's what we liked. TV series news.
TV, lay it on me.
We know I love a TV series.
You do love a TV series. I'm not one for a TV series, but that's mainly because I never have time for a TV series.
So, Fallout. Oh,
I need to watch it.
Yes.
No spoilers here, but I need to watch it.
No, I haven't got any spoilers. Other than I can say is I've loved every episode. Again, I personally don't think you need to have played the games to watch it. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff in the background that you'll see and you're like, oh, I remember that from, Vegas or 4 or 3 or whatever. Yeah. But if you can go into it with an empty head, there's just like I say, things in the background that pop up and that. But no, it's been really good. It in the first week of it being out, it was already Series 2 has already been green lighted.
Nice.
So obviously it's doing well.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
One of my favourite bits, again, it's not a spoiler, so don't worry, folks, if you're listening. But in episode 6, in the first series, obviously, there is an advert from Vault-Tec, and there's a display. The telephone number obviously comes up on the screen because it's like the old American advert.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely, genius what they've done. You can actually text or call the number that's on screen. So if you pause it, obviously it's very like a Vault-Tec thing that they've done, but the number that appears is 21325 Vault. So again, like the old American TV series.
Yeah.
But if you're a UK resident, if you call 001 213 258 2858, I would advise you turn the volume down before you ring the number. But it comes up with a person on the other end screaming, and it actually sounds like they're being tortured. But it gives away a few clues. I won't spoil it, but I would. It does cost money to ring the number, so it's not free. But I would recommend you ring it, but just be prepared. You might make you jump. If you do, you can text the number, but I would say it's probably not as good as if you ring it. So definitely do that.
That's cool.
Twisted Metal, again, another series.
Yeah,
we spoke about it.
Yeah, we have.
That has also been green lighted for a second series, which I'm absolutely down for. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. One of my favourite bits from the series, again, it's not really a spoiler. It's more if you've played Twisted Metal 2, if you remember, there was an unlimited health cheat. Mm-hmm. So when John Doe's in his car, he uses the gear stick and he goes it's basically like L1, R1, up, down, left, right, left, down, up, if I remember that correctly.
Oh, okay.
But that was the cheat code. So it's kind of a little nod.
Yeah, okay, cool.
To previous games.
I love it when. So for me, films and TV shows based on games will very much toe the line as to whether they're good or whether they're bad, whether they're wonderful, whether they're not. But when they just chuck these little things for like the true dedicated fans of the game, fans of the show, it really, really does lift you up, because just little nods like that.
Yeah.
And the little small details kind of makes it seem like they actually care about where it's come from and the actual fan base of the games, and not just trying to turn it into a TV series that'll bring loads of money and stuff in. So
in Fallout and Twisted Metal, there's loads more, but they were probably two of my favourites.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Just one more thing. Wednesday.
See, that is a TV series I did watch.
Bloody hell! I
enjoyed it. I know, right?
Hold the presses.
Yeah, it's big news. Big news out of the Nerdy Nation.
There again, series 2 has been green light. I believe it's going to be underway very soon.
Yeah.
But the legend that is Steve Buscemi, have I said that right?
Oh yeah. I think so.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
It's either Buscemi or Buscemi, and Buscemi sounds better.
It does, doesn't it?
It does sound a little bit better. Yeah.
He has been announced that he is going to be in it. His character hasn't been announced who he's going to play, but I did think he might be quite good as the new principal for the Nevermore Academy.
Yeah, no,
I think he could play that quite well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he could play most things quite well, but yeah, that would be quite good, to be fair. So yeah, that would be very good. Moving slightly to the left, but not quite as far out as we can possibly go. Film news.
Yes.
Joker 2 trailer dropped, and I wasn't sure what to think about it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how I feel about Lady Gaga as Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
Well, I think it is. I thought the chemistry between them on the trailer was absolutely fantastic, and I think it's going to be a pairing that no one would have ever thought of.
Yeah. But I think that's where I'm sitting at the moment. It's one of those where I'm like, that shouldn't work, but I reckon you're probably right, and I reckon it probably really, really will.
Oh well, I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
Well, I did a little bit of because obviously we know my French is on par, my names that I have to pronounce.
Exactly.
But folie à deux for the French people out there, it roughly translates to shared madness or madness for two.
So yeah, I mean that kind of, maybe there's a bit of a more of an origin trail of thought between the pair of them than I necessarily first thought moving into the trailer. But yeah, I have to say though, as a piece of trailer and cinema, the lipstick at the end,
pure genius,
absolutely genius, absolute wizardry from whoever thought that up.
does look good. But I do think, though, from seeing the trailer, I do wonder if a lot of the film is going to be like how the Joker thinks people perceive him. So it might be like him in his cell, but then it will jump to like, I don't know, like him being praised or hunted by the police. So I'm not quite sure how the film's going to work, as in like the layout or the story. Looks like it might have a bit of a musical twist to it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. It makes a lot of sense. Lady Gaga's very talented across the board.
Would be quite funny if she's not on the soundtrack, though, wouldn't it?
Would be very, very funny, to be honest with you.
You can be in the film, but you can't sing.
Yeah, I mean, swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Yeah, but
probably earning enough money, so she doesn't need this up there.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what my current trepidations are, it's definitely a film that I'm going to go and watch. At the end of the day, I think the Joker is probably my favourite villain of all time across the board. Yeah. I think there's just so much that you could do with the Joker, with origin stories. Like, you look at all the stuff that had been before and that will come again. He's just a wonderful character to mess around with.
Lots avenues to explore.
So much you can do with it. So I will be watching it because I do like the Joker. I think the Joker is awesome. Absolutely awesome. What else have you seen this week?
I've seen that Keanu Reeves is to voice Shadow in the up and coming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. That I believe it's going to be out in December this year. I don't think there's been any official announcement, but I think that's what I saw. But I think he'll do that quite well.
Yeah, I mean, Keanu Reeves can do most things quite well, can't he? Let's be fair, but yeah, I'm still.
I mean, it'd be pretty funny if he did it in his. Was he Bill or was he Ted? Oh God. He was Bill. Bill. Yeah. So yeah, you imagine him just like running past Sonic and be like, "Excellent!"
Yeah, that would be funny. I'm still very much on the fence with the old Sonic the Hedgehog films, the live action ones. I'm not sure what to think about them, but they are quite comforting to watch. I like I'm very much a comfort film watcher. So like, if I'm going to bed or if I'm doing anything like that, I like to have a film on in the background.
Yeah.
That just kind of sends me off. And they are in the top sort of 5 or 6 choices that I will just throw on in the background. But I'm still very much on the fence of whether or not I think they're good films.
What I loved about it was from the first one, when they released the picture of Sonic on the internet. The internet absolutely went berserk, and the hate.
I remember that, and they remodeled him throughout everything, didn't they?
Yes,
completely. I remember that.
So I think it was done for the fans, and I think we need more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. What a day that was to be a fan, to actually be listened to.
I definitely joined on that bandwagon because it was shocking,
awful, absolutely awful. But they listened, and I think that's what any of us want.
Give the viewers what they want.
Indeed. Following on from that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
They're getting a live action movie, I think.
Yes. It was announced at Cinecon earlier this month or within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So Paramount have picked up The Last Ronin with Walter. God, why do I do this to myself?
Hamada.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, Walter Hamada
to direct it.
Oh, okay.
I know a little bit of it. It's I think if I could, and again I could be wrong, but it's about the something's happened with the Ninja Turtles, and I think there's only one left, and it's seeking vengeance for something that's happened.
Oh, okay.
I do have to, like I say, I don't know everything. I will read a bit more of it, and hopefully on the next episode we can dive into it a bit more. But I think it'd be good. I think a live action Ninja Turtle film would be good. I mean, for me, it won't be as good as the ones that we grew up with in the 90s.
Absolutely not, yeah.
But on that subject, if you had to choose people to play the Ninja Turtles, who would you choose? Like, Raphael, who would be your ideal Raphael?
I don't know, because you put me on the spot.
I do like doing this.
Yeah, I will take that as some homework and I'll come back to you.
Okay, do it for next week.
Yeah, I'll do it for next time because I'm not 100% sure because I've got a billion names rocking around in my head and it's been a little while since I watched any sort of form of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
So I'm going to do my due diligence, and I want to cross-reference, and I want to see what they were when I was younger and who I think would play that really, really well.
Mm.
It's what my brain is going. So I will come back to you on that one.
Okie dokie. So I have gone for...
Go on, talk to me.
Raphael,
Yep.
I've gone for Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
For Donatello, I've gone for Jim Parsons.
Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes, because obviously Donatello is quite a geeky, techie kind of person. Okay. That's kind of where I was going with that sort of vibe. I can do that. Leonardo, I went for Hayden Christian.
Legend.
Well.
And actually, the dude is getting the love from the fans that he deserved when he was in the first three, or the second and third Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Absolutely here for that. Yep, okay.
Michelangelo. I've gone on a bit of a tangent here.
Okay.
But I've gone for Simon Pegg.
I mean, he's in all of the nerdy films, isn't he?
Exactly.
He's just got to be in there somewhere anyway.
Yeah, and obviously like films like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul, anything like that.
Yeah.
He's got the comedy side down to it, and Mikey, as we know, is a bit of a joker.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think that'd work quite well.
Yeah, and then I mean, we can't do film news without the big nerdy film news. Deadpool and the Wolverine trailer dropped.
Yes, hence the name of the episode. If you hadn't caught on,
yes,
just slightly changed for.
Yes, for censorship purposes.
Yes.
Now, I don't know the lore and the backstory as much as you do, and you're going to go into a deep dive, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to listen. However, for me, it just looks so good.
It's hit a lot of spots.
It's hit a lot of spots, but it's everything that you want from a Deadpool movie and a Wolverine movie without being too far one way or the other.
Yeah.
I am definitely excited for that. And to be honest with you, something I've not done in a very, very long time, I will go day one to see that.
What, that midnight launch?
I mean, depending on whether or not work allows.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we haven't, I think our last midnight launch was Spider-Man No Way Home, because we watched...
Was it No Way Home that we saw? Or did we see that in the day? I thought our last midnight launch was Rogue One.
Yes, because we watched all the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
Previous, and then at midnight watched Rogue One. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I thought it was Rogue One was the last midnight launch we did, and we did Spider-Man daytime, something like
evening,
that.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, that's right.
So, I'm considering a midnight launch if local cinemas are going to do that, and I'm here for it because it just looks so good.
It does.
However, I don't know the backstory of the lore. So here we go for one of Lou's deep dives in stuff that I know nothing about that I'm going to sit here and enjoy.
So, well, I did say I wasn't going to watch another trailer.
And you failed.
I didn't fail. I put it to the Nerdy Nation for them to vote, and they came back. I suppose the odds were in my favour. It was 11-7 to watch rather than wait and be a good Deadpool. So here's what I found.
Beautiful.
It would appear that Deadpool is on some sort of mission to recruit Wolverine to save Deadpool's universe, because as you see, well, it looks like it goes back into Wolverine's universe. It all looks destroyed and like a bit apocalyptic. So I'm wondering if that's where it's kind of going.
Mm-hmm.
We also get our first look at Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova, which I'm absolutely thrilled about because I called that from the Super Bowl trailer that the bald-headed character that you saw could possibly be Cassandra Nova, who's Charles Xavier's sister.
Yeah.
So I hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah,
another thing that I love is that she has made a base out of Ant-Man. When he's gone large. I'm not the biggest Ant-Man fan out there. I do apologise, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes. Like that was pretty cool. I did like that. She walks down the stairs. There seems to be quite a few different X-Men mutants sort of at the bottom. What I've sort of picked to, I think, is there. It looks like we've got Lady Deathstrike from X-Men 2,
Mm-hmm.
Toad from X-Men. God, it's another name. Calizio from X-Men Last Stand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Azazel from First Class.
Oh, yeah, Azazel, yeah.
Yeah, and it also looks like Pyro is there in the background.
Okay.
So it's quite a few mutants hanging around. There's a few more that I'd quite like to see in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I'd quite like to see Gambit.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even Jean Grey. That could be quite interesting with
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely. So if it is Jean Grey, would you have OG Jean Grey back, or would you have new school Jean Grey?
I would go OG,
Yeah.
purely because of all the other characters that are in it. Like Pyro, for example, it's the same actor that was in the original. Yeah. So I think it would be quite nice as a little nod to the original film to bring her back.
Yeah, for sure.
Also saw what appeared to be Red Skull's car driving in the trailer. You know, the white one from the Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like a little nod. There's obviously loads of little nods for things.
I think it genuinely comes from a semi-fan being the front runner at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, Ryan Reynolds does try and do what's right for the character.
He nails it, doesn't he?
He's nailed it.
Dogpaw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Deadpool in a dog form. I mean, what more do we need? How cool is that going to be?
Indeed, yeah, absolutely. There's not much more we need outside of that, really, is there? But there is lots outside of that, which is just adding onto the excitement levels for me. I am super excited for this to come out.
And then towards the end of the promo, we see Deadpool and Wolverine leaping into like a interdimensional portal. You know, like the ones that...
Was it me, or did it look like Doctor Strange's style portal? Or is that just me just like assuming?
Well, again, it's the Masters of the Mystic Arts, portal.
Yeah.
Again, there's no, we don't really see who's doing the thing. So I'm wondering, are we going to see Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange? Is it going to be Benedict Wong as Wong?
Yeah.
Or the other thought that I had, is it Ned when he wore the rings in No Way Home? I don't know why I'm doing the hand motions like I'm about to
see it. Yeah,
no.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So the only thing that I would say about Ned is I'm not sure how that would fit in the story lore from No Way Home.
No, unless it's just him prattling about.
Yeah, prattling about, or in a different universe where the events of No Way Home didn't happen. Yeah, so much there that I'm excited for.
And another thing that I saw, because I happened to be watching an interview with Ryan Reynolds, that there's a possibility in the trailer that Wrexham FC, one of the players, Ollie Palmer, is in the trailer. Like, it hasn't been officially confirmed. But the interview that I was watching, obviously some other people have noticed it. They said to Reynolds, is it Ollie Palmer? And his only response was, you need a keen eyesight.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Reynolds part owning Wrexham FC.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
if
I played for Wrexham and he said to me, "Do you want to be in Deadpool 3?" I'd be on that plane before he'd even finish his sentence.
I'd pay for my own ticket.
Yeah, but it does lead me to wonder: will we see any more of the mighty Red Dragons in the film? Because I mean, they're smashing it at the moment.
Yeah,
I know we're not a football podcast, but I mean,
you can allude to the fact that they're smashing it. 2 promotions and 2 seasons. They're not doing too sad.
No.
So, but yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be an absolute wonderful year for films and games.
And obviously, the last thing really is, I think it's been quite a lot on social media that there's going to be an exclusive popcorn bucket designed by Deadpool.
Amazing.
So I can't wait to see what that's going to be like.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to pay through our backsides just to have that bucket. But it's what we do, isn't it? It's what we do. But yeah, so thank you for your deep dive, because
Welcome.
your deep dive makes me learn stuff, which is always a good start.
Like you said, every day is a school day.
Every day is a school day. So we're going to move on slightly different, slightly new section of our podcast now. Basically, we've had some conversations with some of you guys at home and all the people who've been getting involved on our socials, and asked them for some topics, what they would like to hear discussed, and like our sort of thoughts and opinions on it. I'm not saying we're experts by any stretch of the imagination. However, we're very vocal about our opinions, and sometimes our opinions are not wrong. Take that what you will. So there's a few topics that we've got going on. We're going to just sort of rattle through them and have a conversation about them, really. And if there's any further topics that you feel like we should discuss, or if you want to get involved on some of the topics that some of these guys have brought up, please do, because I think the ones we've got today are quite an interesting bunch.
Yes, for the first few topics, it's good. It's a good start.
Topic number one. Who did that come from?
So topic number one is from Nilly Trinkets.
The legend that is, that pointed out the Fantastic Four's fourth time was the charm. So legend, and I'm not surprised she gave us an excellent topic.
So her question is, should Batman kill? I'll let you go first.
Yeah,
on this one.
So for me, I think the simple answer is no. And the reason the simple answer is no is because Batman, for me, is kind of portrayed as this anti-hero, this hero on the dark side, the hero that doesn't necessarily use lawful methods or uses and stuff like that to get the job done. So there needs to be something to differentiate him as an anti-hero over a villain. And I think the simplest way of doing that is by not killing people.
Yeah.
Because I think the villains will do whatever they can to get what they want done, including eradicating people who are in their way. Whereas an anti-hero is kind of trying to get the right thing done by less than lawful methods. So what can we do to differentiate the two of them? And I think it's the most simple yet effective way of doing it is by making them have a bit of a conscience and a bit of a heart in relation to whether or not they do actually kill people. That's my personal opinion on it, because I do think there needs to be that balance of anti-hero and antagonist. Your thoughts?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Only because when Batman first came out, he did kill a few people. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the really early comics, and then obviously later on the no kill rule came in. I mean, I don't want him to start like literally kill everyone all the time, but I just think every now and then, like obviously there's one comic issue where Batman kills Dracula, and it's actually the Joker that has become Dracula.
Oh, okay.
And obviously he kills him, I think, with a wooden stake, or shall we say a bat wooden stake, because obviously it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah,
can't just be a normal one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something I think I'd like to see. If there was like little side stories, little like villains that aren't going to be there for a long time, and that he could just bop off.
Yeah.
Now and
then.
No,
I can see both sides of the coin. I can definitely see both sides of the coin. I can see both sides of the tail. I just think it's a really, really easy way to differentiate.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see what the side of the coin that you're on. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, because I do think that's a really, really interesting topic.
I think it is.
Especially around sort of like morality of superheroes and villains and stuff like that. Because you think about all the good guy villains that have killed enemies and stuff like that. Most of the Infinity Saga is geared up to killing the antagonist, whereas Batman doesn't do that, but is portrayed as a darker hero. So
It's one of those, yeah. Like I say, I mean,
Mm.
in not every film he's killed. Sometimes the villains have got away. In the comics,
Yeah.
they've got away, or they've gone to like Arkham Asylum,
Mm.
and then they've broke back out, but either by other villains or
Mm.
of their own accord. Yeah, it's definitely food for thought, and
Yeah,
maybe we'll
absolutely.
expand on that at another day. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So number 2, and this one is I thought was really really cool, and it's just the word.
oh, the wording's great.
The Disneyfication, which is just an exceptional word.
Yes, I love this word.
I'm all here for it. So Pokemon Mel wanted to know our thoughts on the Disneyfication of the extended universes, like Star Wars and now Doctor Who with the Whoniverse.
With the Whoniverse, just to quickly interrupt,
Go on.
when I first read it, I instantly thought of the Grinch, like the Who's.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah, and I can understand why. But yeah, so thoughts on the Disneyfication of the world as it is. I will let you start.
I'm all for it, because let's be honest, Disney don't do things by half, do they? Like, no matter what they pick up, they will go to town on it.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at Star Wars, for example, Galaxy Edge, that opened a few years ago.
Yeah.
I was very lucky to go. Me and Mrs. Nerdy went. We spent the day there. I got to build a lightsaber. I got to build an R2D2, a BB-8 droid, and like even when you're just in the shop and that, like it just feels like you're living Star Wars. I got to ride the Millennium Falcon. I was assigned the role of an engineer, which was obviously very
so much sense.
Very fitting.
Very fitting. Yeah.
We got to go to Organa's. We had a drink. Obviously, there's the iconic band playing. There were the we all know that. The cocktails even had names. Like I was drinking Falcon Fuel.
Yeah,
it definitely had a kick. We met some of the nicest people on the planet there. Kathy and Ed, we've stayed in contact with them. We even met up in New York with them. But just everything, like there's like hidden Mickeys in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably walk up and down Galaxy's Edge, 3 or 4, probably 100 times, and still notice something different because of the detail that goes in it. So if they was to buy like Doctor Who, for example, I could imagine Disney having like a TARDIS as the entrance, and it would literally just be the size of a TARDIS, but as you walk through it would just open up into a whole section. Theme park. You could probably build your own sonic screwdriver or Dalek.
Unreal.
So yeah, I'm definitely all over it. I mean, I have seen that Disneyland Paris is expanding with an Arendelle from Frozen. They're looking at building that. I think they've got all the plans are in that, so it's just basically signing off on the construction. And I think a lot of people have said this, but for Orlando to make a villains park. So it'd be like the Maleficent Castle. It would obviously be Captain Hook and Hades. I mean, I'd love to see Hades.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm all for Disney buying whatever and just going to town on it, because they will.
I'm not entirely against it. I think for me, it continues to bring to life the stories of the worlds that I loved and cherished as a child, in new and interesting ways going forward. Do I think they're all going to be good? Absolutely not. Statistically, there are going to be some absolute horror shows.
Yeah.
Horror show films, horror show TV series. There are going to be some horror shows. But without this, I wouldn't get to introduce my kid into the world that I grew up with and loved, because it's developing new, it's developing up-to-date things to feed a new audience, to transition them into the things that we loved as children. So the fact that I get to enjoy it with my son is awesome. And I think another thing as well, seeing people like Hayden Christensen, I know I mentioned it earlier, getting the credit and being adored by the fans that he probably deserved back then, that I don't think we realised. And having these people like I wouldn't have had Ewan McGregor come back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wouldn't have had Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader. I wouldn't have these characters if Disney didn't Disneyficate all of these things. And I, for one, I'm completely here for it. I just hope they continue to do it in a non-money grabbing way. I don't want them to see them pump them out time after time after time.
Yeah, it will get a bit much.
And lack the quality that some of them have had. But you look at like the Star Wars universe, we wouldn't have had the Mandalorian, we wouldn't have had the Obi-Wan Kenobi series,
Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka. You
wouldn't have had any of that. We wouldn't have had Rogue One. We wouldn't have had Star Wars: A Solo Story.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had all of this had they not brought it out. And some of these are like massively treasured memories, and they fill plot holes, and they just expand on the universe that has got so much potential that wouldn't have been done before.
Yeah.
Even the new series that's coming out that at this moment in time, cannot remember the bloody name of, but it's exploring a time before when the light was so good and the Sith was nothing.
We talked about it.
It's exploring all these new and exciting universes that we knew existed, but we didn't know what they were about. Which I think is absolutely awesome. So I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. But yeah, I think as long as they keep doing it, the Acolyte.
There you go.
The Acolyte, that's the one. As long as they keep doing it in the right way, I think it will be great. I genuinely do.
It was a two-part question to Pokemon Mel.
It was, yeah.
She also said, how do we feel about the potential oversaturation of content or focusing on the Pokemon EUIC weekend, and how live streaming has become such an important aspect of engagement?
I just think, I think that's naturally going to be the next step. I think we're always going to have oversaturation of content because I think the world is developing into a content-fueled environment. I don't think there's much more we can say about that. I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to be about whether or not people view who they want to view. I think allowing people the access to witness things like the EUIC and like World Championships and like the Call of Duty World Championships and all this sort of stuff, allowing people to see that wherever they are from their comfort of their own home, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's a lot of it out there. I think people will find their own little niches who want to create the content for it, but then I also think we will find the ones that we enjoy watching. I think it's going to be a sign of the times. It's going to happen. We might as well ride the wave.
Like you say, live streaming is the new craze, isn't it? Like yourself, everyone jumps on the bandwagon. It works for some people than others, and you just got to find your niche. I mean, I must admit, I am a bit old school. There's a few live streamers that I watch and I enjoy. But yeah, I'm just a bit old school. I think it's one of those ones that it's a Marmite situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're either going to love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
No in between.
100%. The next one coming from Tone Zone TCG. Best generation of Pokemon and why everyone has a favourite generation of Pokemon. Roll with it, my friend.
So, I think for me personally, again, it's got to be the first gen, hands down. Only reason because it was the first trading card game set that I completed, and I still have the 151 set upstairs in the loft. It was the first time that we got a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Again, I played Red, Blue, and Yellow. Obviously, we had the Pokemon TV series. Coming home from school, watching that. We had the first Pokemon movie. I remember going to the local cinema and getting the Ancient Mew card. Again, I still have that. So for me, I would say first gen, just purely because of the nostalgia that it brought to the table. It was exciting. It was new. But like I say, don't get me wrong, all the other ones I've enjoyed throughout the year, but just purely on that basis, for me, it's first gen. I mean, I know everyone's going to have their opinions, everyone's going to be different, but yeah.
I'm going to be different straight away.
I know you are.
I'm a Johto baby. I've been a Johto baby. It was the first game that I played was Pokemon Silver. First Pokemon I picked was Cyndaquil. I've got a tattoo of Cyndaquil just because that was the introduction of it. Do I love most generations of Pokemon? Absolutely. Johto will always be my favourite. I think it's got some of the best games. I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver, hands down, are probably arguably, subjectively, the best Pokemon games. I will die on that hill. So come at me, but I will die on that hill. And then slightly, I kind of took two different looks at this. I did a TCG generation sort of thing for me as well, which I know you said you're probably still sitting in the Gen 1. For me, X and Y's TCG era was excellent, and I think a massive amount of that stems from the generation set, the 20th anniversary set.
Yes, what a set.
I'm one card away from completing it. One day, we'll do it.
What's the card? Our viewers might be able to help you.
Yeah, well, unless you can get me a Mega Charizard EX from the set, one of the rarer cards from the set. You never know, but hopefully I'll find it at one of the collection shows that we go to. But I got all the boxes, I got all the promos, I've still got all the promos. It was the best set for me personally. But I'm a Johto baby. I'll always be a Johto baby. I don't think it's ever going to change. I will always be that. And then we've got one more that came in from Poker Jim.
Yes, he asked most iconic weapon in a video game for simplicity and effective. Yeah,
my brain went to two, and then during the first one I got a third, mainly because of something entertaining that happened to me and a friend of mine. My old Call of Duty days when I was younger and good at the game and I had the reflexes to cultivate it. Modern Warfare 2, UMP45.
Nice.
Silencer, Marathon Pro, just running and gunning after secondary schools. I have some wonderful memories with a friend of mine. His name is Ash. He did. I don't know if he still does it, to be fair, but he did a lot of streaming under Ashton V2.
Yes.
Played so many hours with him. And the gun that made me think about it, so the third one, the SP-AS-12, the shotgun, ranks a close second, and I'm sure Ash will remember this, but if he doesn't, I remember it, and I thought it was hilarious. We were grinding that game so much, and I just remember we were playing this one game on Favela, and this dude was just running around, Marathon Pro, with that shotgun, absolutely tearing us a new one. We couldn't get anywhere near him, so we, out of pure frustration and anger, decided to start doing the same thing. And if I remember rightly, and I'm sure Ash can either corroborate this or not, we both dropped nukes in the next 3 or 4 games using that shotgun marathon run and gun. And we just ended up just laughing about it. It was the funniest thing that came out of something terrible. And then the second one is the MSMC from Black Ops 2. I vividly remember absolutely frying with my old friends at Tesco in all the hardcore lobbies that we're doing, and also in the old rank playlists.
Yes, remember them.
Old rank playlists from Black Ops 2 are great times. Those 3 are the ones that stand out for me when it comes to guns, mainly because anything else weapon related, I'm normally using like a hidden blade or a sword and a bow and arrow or something like that. Yeah. So those guns, absolutely loved it. Those were the days. Those were good days. What about you?
So I've gone for the hidden blade from Assassin's Creed, purely because it does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, indeed.
Simple, it's effective, it's easy to carry. Again, obviously being biased because I love Assassin's Creed. Obviously, over the years, there's been different attachments to the hidden blade. There's been there's a gun incorporated onto it. You've had the little crossbow. You've had double hidden blade again, which I absolutely loved. And another one that I thought of, I don't really know if it's simple and effective. It's more guns blazing and stuff like that. But it's the Lancer from Gears of War. I mean, it's a gun with a chainsaw.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, reciprocating blade, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but
you can't go wrong with a gun and a blade all rolled into one, can you?
No, I mean, I used to love playing that game. I've definitely put some hours online on that with the
absolutely.
Horde. And then I remember I used to have the active reload, where we used to be able to press like RB or L2. RB, was it on the Xbox controller? I had that down to a T for the quick reload.
Yeah. No, I'm here for it.
But yeah, that's definitely what I'd gone for. I had, a couple of my favourite weapons.
Enjoyments using the weapons, absolutely. So those were our topics given to us by you guys. So please, if you've got anything else that you want to list, you want us to talk about, or you want to hear on the pod, please do let us know. And then to wrap things up this evening, Lewis has some exciting news. So I will hand it over to you.
Yes, our news is that we've just been asked to be an affiliate for Mint Keeper. Obviously, for those of you who may not have heard of them, they're basically Mint Keeper do folders for all the trading card games.
Yeah, they do sleeves, lots of wonderful accessories for the TCGs.
Yes, there's some lovely colours. I've got my eye on the teal coloured one. They do like top loaders, soft sleeves, team bags, gradable sleeves, semi-rigid card sleeves, magnetic card holders and magnetic stands. So obviously you can display your favourite cards.
Absolutely anything you need accessory-wise, these are the guys to go to. And these are the guys to go to because if you go to them and is it a code?
Yes, if you put in the discount code Nerdy Side Up, you'll get 5% off your purchase over £20. So what's
saving money and keeping your cards safe and looking presentable and
looking mint.
I'm here for it. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll drop a link in the description.
Yes, we'll add it onto our link tree.
Yeah, we'll add it onto the link tree. So check it out on all the socials, and yeah, if you use the code Nerdy Side Up, you get 5% off your purchases over 20 quid. Can't really go wrong with that, can you?
No, and also it's free delivery when you spend over £20 as well.
Look at that. You get a bit of discount and you get to not pay for postage. Even better.
Not all heroes wear capes, eh?
Indeed. Some of them wear glasses.
Yes, they do. Well, yes, we do.
Yeah, we do indeed. Anyways, that's all from us this time. We hope you have a wonderful week. And until next time,
stay nerdy.